Narito na naman ang mainit na balita mula sa mundo ng politika. Isang may init at nakakagulat na balita ang gumigimbal ngayon sa buong bansa. Usap-usapan ang posibilidad ng impeachment laban kay President Kuting ng Norte Jr. matapos lumutang ang ilang isyong may kinalaman umano sa pang-aabuso ng kapangyarihan at questionableng paggamit ng pondo ng bayan. Ayon sa ilang mambabatas, may mga seryosong bahisayan umano para isulong ang impeachment complaint. Hindi naman nagpatumpik-tumpik ang Malacanang sa paglalabas ng pahayag. Ayon sa tagapagsalita ng palasyo, walang katotohanan ng mga paratang at malinaw na bahagi lamang ito ng politikang nagpapahina sa administrasyon. Dagdag pa nila, abala ang Pangulo sa mga programang pangkaunlaran at hindi natinag sa mga akusasyong walang sapat na ebidensya. Sa kabila nito, umaani na ng reaksyon mula sa publiko at ilang personalidad sa politika ang naturang issue. May ilan ang nagsasabing dapat itong imbestigahan ng patas upang malaman ang buong katotohanan, habang ang iba naman ay naniniwalang ginagamit lamang ito upang pabagsakin ang kasalukuyang administrasyon. Samantala, nananawagan ng ilang grupo ng transparency at accountability mula sa gobyerno. Sa ngayon, wala pang formal na impeachment complaint ang inihain sa Kongreso, ngunit inaasahan ng mas mainit pang mga kaganapan sa mga susunod na araw. At yan nga ang mabalitang ating pagkakatutukan, at kung bago ka pa lamang sa aking channel ay huwag kakalimutang mag-like, share and subscribe para updated ka sa aming mga bagong balita dito sa Tatak Pinas.
Boto nandyan lang ho sa baba. Bago tayo dumako dito kay Senator Franklin Drilon, dating Senate President Franklin Drilon, pasadaan muna natin ang pagpapasalamat nitong si Marcos Jr. Ba't ka nagpapasalamat sa Timor-Leste? Ang tanong, sa magkanong halaga nyo napauwi ang mama na yan? Ibang klase, alam ka naman ganun talang alagay sa Timor-Leste, di ba? Di natin sinasabi sa gaanong pabor halaga o sa anong pakiusap na halaga ang ibinigay ng administrasyon na to para makumbinsi ang Timor-Leste na i-denied yaang asylum nitong si Aaron Tevez, di ba? May naka-apply ho siya ng asylum, political asylum. Ngayon, na-denied ho yun. Sa kabila ng nagsusumigaw ang mga ebidensya na napakaberdugo ng administrasyon na to, na talagang political persecution, wala na tayo doon, tapos na tayo doon. Hindi ho para ipagtanggol natin dito si Arnie Tevez. Pero ang ating sigurado dito, yung kalintulad na trademark ng administration na to, na pagka meron ho silang hindi nagustuhan ng tabas ng pananalita o medyo kalaban sa politika o kalaban sa mga illegal na gawain, yung ibang mga matataas na opisyal sa administrasyon, dinidispatcha nila. Alam nyo naman ho mga kababayan, si Arnie Tevez kung ano talagang niyan, di ba? Ang nabalitaan natin noong mga nakalipas na panahon, yung mga kalaban nitong si Arnie Tevez sa mga kanyang business ang trumabaho dyan para siya ang maituro na gumurgor dito kay Mayor Digamo. Eto ho mga kababayan, ito, pakinggan natin to. Pasalamat okay?
The former Representative Arnie Tevez is now back in the Philippines. I was first informed of this development by Prime Minister Guzmao during the ASEAN meeting that I just returned from in Kuala Lumpur, that Timor-Leste was ready to send Tevez back to the Philippines. This would not have happened without the assistance of President Horta and Prime Minister.
Napakiusapan ni Bangag ang presidente ng Timor-Leste, kaya napauwi itong si Tevez. Ayos. Oo, ang bayan ng Pilipino, magbunhi tayo, nakauwi si Tevez sa Pilipinas. Dapat diniretso nyo na ng Dahig Netherlands Di ba? Bagsakan niya, Villamor Air Base. Dapat pagbabagsak sa Villamor, diretso ng Dahig Netherlands Kasi pag nakikita natin yung mga tagpo na yan sa aeroplano, medyo allergic tayo Kasi ayaw natin ikumpara itong kay Tevez kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Kaya dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, ginawa sa kanya yon dahil doon sa kanyang napakabuting intensyon na linisin ng ating bansa. Yang kay Tevez, mapatotoo yan o mapahindi, hindi ho natin pwedeng ikumpara yung nangyari yan dyan sa mama na yan kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Napakalaking kalabis yan ho nun sa sa naging intensyon ni Tatay Digong na nagawa niya lang yung mga bagay na yun sa kagustuhan na malinis ang ating mga kalsada, mapanatiling ligtas yung ating mga anak, mga kabataan, di ba? Yung kay Tebes, ibang usapan ho yun. Pero pagka nakakakita ho tayo ng mga ganyang ganap dyan sa mga paliparan, medyo allergic ho
Mr.
tayo.
Gusmao of Timor-Leste. They have been working very hard to bring this to a conclusion. As we know, the former Congressman Arnie Tevez is facing charges of murder and other crimes related to the ambush killing of the former Governor Digamo.
Sorry, Governor Digamo. Malatagal na kasi, nakalimutan ko na. Sorry ha. Hindi ko kasi masyadong pinapasadahan tong kay Tebes, no? Hindi ko natin masyadong pinag-usapan naman natin yan at tayo hindi ko natin siya ginakampihan itong si Tebes. Ito malinaw ho ito para sa mga mga kababayan natin dito sa PHP. Hindi ko kinakampihan si Tebes. Pero base sa track record ng administrasyon na to, yung mga ganyang klaseng gawan, yan ho ang kanilang libangan. Yung manggipit no mga siguro kalaban sa business, sugal, uso pa ho nun yung anong tawag dito, isabong. 'Di ba? Ano ho yan di ba? Yung mga Tebes na yan yan ho talaga yung napabalita, mga mayroong alingas-ngas, may mga may alingas-ngas. Meron silang pogo, online sabong parang gano'n yung sugal, sugal na lang, hindi yung merong mga ganong alingas-ngas, mga kalaban sa mga ganyang klaseng larangan, merong kesyo third party ng asawa. Marami ho, pero ang sigurado ho natin dito, sigurado tayo dito, hindi si Tebes ang gumurgor kay Governor Digamo. Yun ang sigurado natin dito. Hindi ho niya gagawin yun. Siya ang paano mo gagawin? Ikaw na nga pagbibintangan, tapos gagawin mo pa? Takang toko, hindi naman dati umamin si Tebes na si Tebes ba yung tumikim ng ipinagbabawal na pulburon, di ba? Tumikim siya niyan. Kahit na ginawa niya sa mga nakalipas na panahon, alam niya na siya sisisihin kung sakaling merong mangyari diyan kay Digamo. Kaya sigurado ho tayong hindi siya ang gumawa niyan. Ano ho yan, talagang dinispatcha ho yung Tebes na yan sa administrasyon ni Marcos Jr.
We would like also to assure all our citizens that such lawlessness will not go unpunished. And it is now
Kung makapagsalita naman, mga lawlessness not unpunished ang punish. Hindi muna, latagan muna ng ebidensya sa sa korte, anong unpunished. Nakananto ko, di pa nga kayo sigurado kung talagang si Tebes ang gumawa niyan di ba? Ano pa lang ho siya, kumbaga nasasakdal pa lang siya. Innocent, anti-proven guilty. Kayo naman palibasa, di kayo nakapagtapos, kaya ganyan kayo bumira.
time for Arnie Tevez to face justice.
Yun lang naman. Naku, talagang iniportan pa ng bagong Pilipinas logo. Nakananto ko ang bagong Pilipinas na yan. Wala ko silang napanalong kandidato nung nagdaang election. Ito na, ang pinakahihintay ng ating mga kababayan. Ito si dating Senate President Franklin Drilon sa kanyang interview dito sa Bilyonaryo News channel. Ito, pakinggan ho natin. Ito, hindi lang ho ito, kumbaga ang kanyang pananaw sa impeachment, hindi lang ho nanggaling sa isang dating Senate President, hindi lang sa isang majority leader sa Senado o kung ano man ang naging accomplishment niya sa pagiging senador niya. Kung ano man ang naging experience niya doon sa kay Chief Justice Renato Corona. Hindi lang ho yung mga naging experience niya diyan sa Senado. Yan ho ay napakahusay na abogado. Rinirespeto, lalo na ng mga dilawan. Kaya pagka yan sinabi ho niya hindi tuloy ang impeachment, ano ho yan, iba hong ibig sabihin yan kasi dilawan yan. Kung meron mang mga individual na talagang gustong-gusto nilang ma-impeach itong si BP Sara, malamang sa malamang, isa ho yan yung mga dilawan. Kasama ho yung mga dilawan dyan sa ganyang klaseng ideya na baklasin si BP at hindi na makatakbo sa 2020. Pero pagka yung mga ganyang klaseng ideya nanggaling ho sa mga dilawan, kagaya ng abogado nitong si Len, kagaya ho niyang si Lacson, kagaya ho niyang si Soto, iba ho ibig sabihin yan. Ibig sabihin ho niyan, para dito kay Chis Escudero, mag-alsabalutan ka na. Paretouch mo na ang kilay mo, ika nga. Yun ang problema dito kay Chis Escudero. Hindi ho niya na-anticipate na ganito ang magiging outcome ng 2025 election. Hindi ho niya natansya na ang majority ng mga kandidato ng alyansa hindi ho makakapasok sa Senado. Kaya ngayon, nag-iba ho ang timpla nitong impeachment. Pero tayo ay nakakasigurado itong mga individual na to, kung sakaling nanalo yung mga kandidato ng alyansa, hindi ho ganito ang kanilang sentimiento at timpla dito sa impeachment itong si VP Sara. Tuloy natin mga kababayan.
Two senators entering the chamber. How do you foresee the balance of power shifting in the Senate?
You know, the most difficult job insofar as the political arena is concerned is that of the Senate President. Why? Because we have no political party system. The Senate President is subjected to daily pressure by 24 political parties.
Which is each of the individual senators.
Yes,
Kanya-kanya talaga
kanya-kanya
sila.
yan eh. Ala naman kailangan, you must please each and everyone, or if that please them, you must be able to see to it that the decisions are consistent with national interest. But having said that, that does not change the picture that you have 24 political parties operating in the Senate. So you can imagine how difficult it is, the kind of pressure that the Senate President is subjected to on a daily basis. And the election has not changed that. Ganun pa rin. That is why it is so difficult. Unlike in the United States, for example, you have what? You have 200 senators, and yet because of the strong political party system, they are more stable. Here, you see the Senate President being subjected to the whims and caprice of 24 senators who, with a moist eye on the presidency in the next election.
So lahat sila merong parang gusto rin na, like let's say, each one, as you were saying, would have an ambition to become Senate President as well. Ganun, you were also a Senate President before. Ganun ba ka, what is that word? Yung uncertain, yung tenure in a sense because of this lack of stability.
Because of the lack of stability. You have to talk to 24. You have to please 24. Whereas if you have a good political party system, then you can rely on the support of your party, not of one person. Kaya nahihirapan yan eh.
But is it not also yung just getting the support of the president? I know that theoretically we have separation of powers between executive, legislative, and judicial. But in the Philippines, it seems like the president has a lot of sway with respect to the leadership in the House. And sa Senate po ba walang ganun din na power?
The extent of the president's influence in the Senate is less if you compare it to the House. Because the senators would pride themselves as having the same constituency as the President of the Republic. They are voted by the entire country in the same manner as the President is, in contrast to a congressman who is voted by district and therefore subject to the greater and more effective presidential pressure. Whereas the senator is not similarly situated. He can stand up to the president, and historically, you look back to our history, senators are known to stand up to Malacanang and disagree with Malacanang. Of course, today you don't see that much because, again, of the lack of political party system. Malalakas doon ang loob ng mga senador dahilan sa alam nila mayroon silang suporta ng kanilang partido sa Senado. Ngayon, 24 ang partido, kailangan ko isapon mo isa-isa before you feel confident that you have the support. So, in that sense, the Senate President post is very unstable because of the lack of a political party system. And the lack of the political party system was the result of martial law, when what used to be the liberal and the nationalista as the two-party system that we have, the father of Bongbong abolished all political parties and had the KBL as a single monolith. And it was carried after martial law was lifted, and therefore you have a splintered political party system. And especially in a presidential system, where changing political parties does not result in the downfall of government. That is why politicians change political parties like they change their shirts every day because wala namang epekto eh. So
Wala ring consequences.
Walang consequence.
Oo. What about the change in the Senate President leadership that is being rumored for this 20th Congress? Who do you think would be potentially the new Senate President? Tito Soto has not denied. He's actually acknowledged that he's been getting calls already for potentially being the new Senate President. Do you think there are other players that might
the
potentially...
incumbent, Chis Escudero, is interested in keeping his post.
Yes.
As we talk, Karen, I can assure you 101% that the issue of who is Senate President will be in the 20th Congress has not been decided. It will be decided probably a day or two before the 20th Congress opens at the end of or the fourth Monday of July. Ganun talaga dyan. Right now, as we talk here,
kabisado nitong si Franklin Drillo ng kalakaran dyan sa, dyan sa Senado. Alam ho niya kung ano mangyayari.
there are discussions, I'm sure, going on between the potential Senate President, either Soto or Chis Escudero, talking to each of the 24. Again, that's the weakness of our political party system. You have to talk to 24 senators
To get their
support. And you can imagine the compromises that happens there. So,
Ano type of compromises? You were also Senate President before. Anong mga type of compromises po ang naninegotiate?
well, the choice of the committees. The chair, in the Senate, the chairman of the committee is the committee itself. And therefore, the chairman is very critical. There are misfits, and they become chairman because of the negotiation that goes on to choose the next Senate President. There are compromises. So you ask for the chairmanship of Committee X, you have no competence on Committee X. But because you represent 1 or 2 votes, the item is given to you, or the position is given to you. So again, that's the weakness of our party system, or lack of party system.
Well, given that type of dynamics within the Senate, I'd like to pick your brain as to other names that have been floated as potential Senate presidents for the 20th Congress. What do you think of Amy Marcos? Is that a possibility?
Well, I talking about possibility, I have absolutely no opinion. I do not know. I've been out of the Senate for the past 3 years, and hindi ko na alam yung what are the factors that will creep in.
Rodante Marcoleta, he's going to be a newbie in the Senate.
Okay, by tradition, without touching upon the competence of Marcoleta, I still have to see a newbie or the most junior senator aspire for the Senate presidency. There's
Never happened pa.
Never happened.
Ito, history in the making, ika nga. Ito na, umanda-handa kayo. Ngayon, none. Alam nyo mga kababayan, sanay naman ho tayo, lagi namang merong first time. First time na nagkaroon ng unity, talagang todo suporta, di ba? First time ho tayo nakakita ng ganyan. Talagang bumuo sa suporta na sambayan ng Pilipino dito sa binuo nilang alyansa, itong unity team na to. First time, ano nangyari? Bigo ho tayo dyan. Ngayon, dito sa isa na to, magkakaroon din ho tayo ng first time sa Senado na isang neophyte senator, kakapasok, first time manalo, magiging Senate President. Wag na kayong magtaka, laging meron ganyan. First time, di ba? Siguro, hindi first time, pero sa kasaysayan ng budget, sinasabi, ito yung pinaka-most corrupt, nagkaroon ng kung ano-ano dyan sa BICAM, hindi na pag-usapan. First time ho nangyari na hindi pinakamalaki ang pondo ng Department of Education. First time na imbis na bigyan ng subsidiya ang PhilHealth, hindi ginawa. Marami hong first time. At ngayong mga panahon na to, base siya sa ating pagsunod dito sa administrasyon na to, sanay na ho ang sambayan ng Pilipino sa first time. Kaya kung sakali mang maging Senate President yan si Rodante Marcoleta, di na ho kami magtataka doon.
Happened before.
Interesting.
Yes, never happened before that a newbie or, when I was new in the Senate, I was asking the older ones, I can't remember who, asking for their advice. how to handle my vegan new senator. You know what they told me? You listen first. You listen for 6 months before you open your mouth. So, that indicates, you know, the tradition of seniority in the Senate and the fact that you have to learn. You have to listen first.
Ang
With that-
problema ho kasi sa sinasabi na yan, netong si former Senator Franklin Drilon, yung mga senador noong pagpasok niya bilang senador, bilang isang neophyte senator, baka yung mga senador na yun talagang di kalibre, yung tipong pagka nagdebate talagang hindi mo makikita mo ho talaga na ang kanilang interest na tinutulak hindi yung interest ng mga mayayamang oligarko, mga politiko, ng administrasyon. Hindi ho siguro ganon ang Senado noong mga panahon na yon, Senator Franklin Drilon. Ngayong mga panahon na to, yung mga bagong pasok, sila ho kumbaga yung pwede nating pagkatiwalaan. Hindi na ho natin kailangan hintayin na makinig muna sila kasi ba't pa makikinig yan si Rodante Marcoleta sa mga sasabihin ng mga kasama niya dyan sa Senado. Gayong yung mga kasama niya dyan, yun nga lang yung problema natin sa kuryente, hindi ho nila malaman kung paano susolusyonan. Itong kakapasok na senator, yung tagal naging congressman, alam na niya pasikot-sikot dyan sa legislative department. Kaya wala ho tayong problema dyan. Kaya kung maging presidente yan, ay maging Senate President yan, wala ho tayong magiging problema dyan.
Now, composition of the Senate. What do you think is going to happen to the impeachment, the impending impeachment trial of Vice President Sara?
Ito na.
Mark my word, there will be no trial in my assessment. There will be no trial in the impeachment court because Vice President Sara correctly, as a lawyer, would not want to start a trial because once the trial starts, you do not know how it will end. Karen, you were involved as part of the defense team of President Erap Estrada.
Of Corona. Chief Justice Corona, yes.
You'll never know what will happen in the course of the trial.
Yes.
You'll never know what comes out as evidence, and therefore, you'll never know how the senators will vote, how public opinion will be swayed, which is a factor in the impeachment.
Parang alam ho nitong si Drilon na merong ilalabas itong si Vice President Sara Duterte. Siguro isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit hindi talaga itutuloy yung impeachment na yan. Alam na rin ang kampo nitong si Marcos Jr. na merong hawak itong si BP na hindi magugustuhan itong si Marcos Jr. kung sakaling lumabas dyan sa impeachment na yan, dyan sa impeachment trial na yan. No, hindi ho, alam na ho nila. Kaya ano sabi ni BP Sara, ang gusto niya bloodbath. Diba? Gusto ko talaga niya magkaroon ng balagbagan dyan sa impeachment trial na yan. Malamang sa malamang, alam na nitong si Drilon kung anong mga ilalabas nitong si BP Sara. Yung mga barahang, pwedeng alam niya, pwedeng hindi niya alam. Pero base sa confidence nitong si BP Sara, kahit sinong mga prosecutor dyan sa impeachment trial na yan, kahit sinong maging makalaban ng defense yan, talagang kailangan ho silang kabahan. Dahil kasi ganito ho mga kababayan, kung sakaling bulilyaso yan, yung prosecutor, yung prosecution panel, yang sila Luis Troy, yang sila George Gutierrez, yung mga piniling mga congressman para talagang i-prosecute itong si BP Sara, hindi naman ho sila ang masisira sa sambayan ng Pilipino. Diba? Hindi naman ho sila ang mahinang klase yung mga yun, walang kwento. Hindi ho. Kahit na ika nga, pinag-uusapan dyan sa legislative department, legislative branch ng ating pamahalaan, ang bagsak pa rin ho niyan kay Marcos Jr. Kahit sabihin ni Marcos Jr. na hindi ko ginusto yan, pero ang nagtutula pinakaunang pumirma, anak mo, pinsan mo ang talagang trumabaho kay BP Sara. Kaya ang bagsak pa rin ho niyan kay Marcos Jr. Ano sinasabi niya ngayon? Ayaw ko na ng impeachment. Ayaw ko talaga yan. Pero wag ho kayong magpabudol. Siya ho talaga ang pinakagumugusto dyan sa impeachment na yan. Lahat na sabihin ng mama na yan, kabaliktaran ho ng ika nga kahulugan. Right?
Trial. How is this? How, in my opinion, will this be prevented? What will be prevented is a trial. The impeachment is there, but the trial will, in my view, will never happen. Because if I were Vice President Sara, I would immediately put up front at the start of the trial issue of jurisdiction. Very simple question. Would the senators of the 20th Congress have jurisdiction over allegations and complaints filed in the 19th Congress? if you look at the calendar put out by Senate President Escudero, you will notice that yes, the impeachment process will start, I think, in June.
In
2,
June, yes,
June 2.
yes.
But if you look at it, what will happen on June 2? Sir, many preliminaries, answers, etc. The actual trial, I think will start in
July.
July.
Yes.
No longer this, the present Congress. So, if I were Vice President Sara, I will immediately question the jurisdiction of the 20th Congress. Now, the first body that will decide that is the impeachment court itself. Now, in the impeachment court, will decide one way or the other, it will end up in the Supreme Court. So the issue of jurisdiction will have to be tackled in the Supreme Court, and I am not aware of any precedent which we can rely upon.
Yes.
So,
But that's really interesting because there's also an pending case in the Supreme Court right now questioning whether this impeachment can prevail because of the fourth impeachment being the one endorsed by Congress.
So there are a lot of legal issues. And the issue that will confront them is whether the 20th Congress can try a case where it was started and filed by the previous Congress. Now, maybe you want to ask the question, how will fit the agenda of the president? You know, the headline today said, BBM insists, I don't want VP impeached. So this
came out just today that the president said
yes,
ayaw niya ng impeachment.
ayaw niya ng impeachment. So, if I were a senator, I am looking at the president as my political leader, he says, I don't want impeachment. How do you think my decision will be?
So are you saying that the senators will listen to the signals of the president? Because it seems like Congress did not listen to that. If he were consistent, diba? From the start, he was saying,
Yes.
I don't want an impeachment.
Believe you me, Karen, I have been there. I've been there, I've done that.
Yes, I know you were actively also in the impeachment. We were on opposite sides. You were in the prosecution.
Right. But I'm talking
you
here
were in the
theoretically
side,
and what I have experienced. The president, in being the political leader, would have much of an influence on the impeachment proceedings. Whether or not he will succeed is another matter. But he will take a look at it, etc.
But
And, you know,
Senator
let me finish. The way I read it today, Karen, regardless of the merits of the impeachment complaint, the president supports what is popular. Regardless of the merits of the impeachment complaint, the president, to me, supports what is popular. What the recent Pulse Asia survey showed, at least half of the entire nation, 50% of the Filipinos, do not support the impeachment. And don't tell me that there is no merit in the impeachment complaint. But the popular view is that the vice president should not be impeached. And that is what, unfortunately...
Do you think that the president is considering?
Of course, it fits his agenda.
Yeah.
Because, look, Karen, in my view, there are no numbers in the Senate to convict Sara. There are no numbers.
Currently,
Iyang mga salita na yan, nanggagaling na ho yan doon sa merong partido na nakapagpanalo ng dalawang senador, si Bam at saka si Kiko. Yaang nagsasalita na yan. Meron silang Risa Hontiveros, Kiko, Bam Aquino, meron silang, sino pa? Yung isa pa, Risa Hontiveros, meron silang Tulfo. Yun yung mga posible. Sila na ho na mismo nagsasabi na walang bilang yung impeachment na yan. Kaya, ano lang ho kumbaga, kung sakaling ituloy ng administrasyon itong si Marcos Jr. at sila naman talaga may gumugusto ng impeachment na yan, wala ko silang makukuha pagdating sa paglatag ng prosecution panel sa mga ebidensya laban kay VP Sara. Nagsalita na nga mga Pilipino, ayaw nila impeachment. Kung paano pa kung merong isisiwala dyan si VP Sara na hindi talaga magugustuhan itong si Marcos Jr. Sa tingin ho natin ngayong mga panahon na to, kung ano man nasabihin nitong si VP Sara, nakikinig na ho ang administrasyon ni Marcos Jr. Pagka sinabi ni VP na gusto niya ng bloodbath,